Hello you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a 2025 book release video. So here on my laptop I made a little Word document just with the books and quickly kind of what they're about and the date they come out. So let's just hop right in. So January 7th is, oh, and sorry, really quickly. I have the date that it comes out as of when I did this research yesterday, which was January 4th. So, yeah. Anyways, okay. January 7th, we have Beg, Borrow, or Steal. That's part of a When in Rome series. That's book 3. I've never read the When in Rome series, but I have heard good things about it. I've heard good things about Sarah Adams and like her writing, so I do kind of want to try it. I will have to get the first 2 books first and then get this one, but for those of you that have read it, it comes out January 7th. It's about 2 second grade teachers and they're kind of like rivals. So I think it's like a rivals to lovers type story. And it seems cute, and the cover is super cute. It's adorable. So next, also on January 7th, is A Sea of Unspoken Things, and this is more of kind of like a thriller, maybe mystery. I don't know. I didn't look up the genre, but I think it might be like a thriller. So it's about twins, and they have this really deep connection, but one of the twins, Johnny, the brother, is killed in an accident, and so James, the sister, already knew it before she got the phone call because she just felt the connection leave. So she goes to this little rural town to go see, settle his affairs, and she just seems like things are kind of off in this town, so she stays and brings up more questions and kind of what life was my brother actually living here. So and she also starts to feel that connection again, like she feels like it hasn't completely gone when she gets to this town. So it sounds interesting. All right, January 21st, we have She Doesn't Have a Clue. This seems really cute. It's like a whodunit mystery vibe, and I love books like that. So it's about Kate. She's an author, and she's going to her ex-fiance's wedding, which I think he's also her editor, or yeah. So she's at this wedding, and she stumbles across a body, and someone's poisoned. And she's like, what's going on? I'm gonna try to figure out pretty much what's going on, and nobody's gonna help her but this guy, Jake. And from what I read in the synopsis, it sounds like her and Jake have some type of history. So yeah, but that seems really cute. I'm excited to read that. All right, January 25th is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. Now, I've only read one of Alice Feeney's books, and that was Daisy Darker, and I really liked that book, so I'm like, okay, I want to pick this one up. It's about a man. He goes to a Scottish town after his wife goes missing. It's like a year after she goes missing, and she just disappeared. So he goes to this little Scottish island to kind of, take a break from everything, and then he sees a woman that looks just like his wife. So yeah, it sounds interesting. It seems like I've read a book similar to it. I just can't remember what book it was. But like with somebody disappearing or being dead, and then somebody else seeing them later being like, oh, you look just like that person. So like, yeah. But it still seems good. I want to read it. And since I like Daisy Darker, I'm like, okay, yes. Okay. February. Now we're going into February. So on the 4th, we have The Love Lyric. And The Love Lyric is in a series, the Green Sister series. It's the 3rd book. She has 2 other sisters. Lily was the first book, and I read the first book, The Neighbor Favor. It was so cute. 5 stars for me. I loved it. But I have not read the second one, which is about the sister I think her name is Violet. I haven't read that one yet, so I have to read that one and then I'll read this one. But it's about the oldest sister, Iris, and she's a widow and she has a 6-year-old daughter that she's raising by herself. And it seems like she's gonna get together with an R&B singer that's a brand ambassador at the company she works at. So it's kind of like one of those work tropes where it's like an office romance. You try to keep it professional, but can you? You know? So sounds cute. Next, we're moving into March. So March 4th is While We Were Young. That one is by the same author that did The Summer of Unbroken Rules. And I read that book and that was really cute. You know, just simple, easy, cute, fun, fast read. But this one is about seniors and kind of their drama that's going on. So they use their senior skip day to kind of go around Philly. And I liked the cover, and I also like the setup of them kind of doing fun touristy things in Philadelphia. So I thought it would be cute. Also on March 4th is The Love Simulation. And I haven't read because it's by Etta Easton, and she also wrote another book. I can't remember exactly what the name of it was, but it was another like astronaut romance. But it seemed really cute. I heard really good things about it. I just haven't gotten around to picking it up. But this one sounds super cute, so I feel like now I need to go pick it up now and read the first one to read the second one. Because I don't think you have to, but I like to. And this one is about Brianna and Roman. Brianna's the vice principal of a school, and Roman is a science teacher and also the son of the principal. And so Brianna's trying to raise some money for a library, and she has to go to this Mars simulation thing. And when she gets there, she sees that Roman's there. She doesn't quite trust him. But then he proves himself and she's like, okay, I trust him. But he is hiding something. So we don't know. I guess we'll have to wait until March 4th to see. All right, March 18th is The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. This is the 4th book in the Dream Harbor series. So if you've ever read the other books, I have 2 of them right here actually. So this is the first book, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and then the Cinnabon bookstore here. So these are the first 2 books, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys may know because they've been all over TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And then there's a 3rd one called The Christmas Tree Farm, I believe. I haven't read that one yet. But this one is the 4th one in the series, like I was saying. And it's about a chef and single dad, Archer, and then the girl is Iris. And so like if you've read the first few books, you know how the mayor is. So the mayor suggests that Iris becomes Archer's nanny. So there's that like nanny romance, nanny boss. I don't know what that trope is called, but there's that. Moving on to March 25th, Just Our Luck by Denise Williams. Now, I've never read a book by her before, but I've always been kind of intrigued to. It's just hasn't been like on the top of my list. So yeah, but it's about Sybil and Kieran. And Sybil is a girl that kind of just goes with the flow. She goes from job to job and man to man. And she goes and buys a lottery ticket, and it's a winning lottery ticket, and she goes to buy a donut at this bakery, and she sees Kieran there. Now Kieran wanted to be a doctor, but he had to give up that dream to take over his family bakery, but it's also struggling, so he's been trying to keep it afloat for however long, and it's just not doing well. So anyways, they get to flirting or whatever, and the next day she runs out, you know, super early and leaves her ticket behind. Now, the good man that Kieran is brings back the ticket to Sybil, and I don't know how, but it seemed as like it seems like it's this romantic gesture. I don't know how everybody got, everybody knew that he was bringing it back. But people are like, oh, that's so sweet. That's so romantic. I'm going to go to his bakery. And so his bakery starts to go up and they start to get a lot of money. And he's like, yeah, we're going to need to do this fake dating thing. So they do fake dating so that his business can keep afloat and her family can stay off of her back about whatever they're on her back about. So it's a fake dating trope that can be really cute if it's done well. So it looks cute and the cover is really cute and I love a good bakery romance. All right. Moving into April, we have No Ordinary Love. Now, this is by an author that I've never heard of before. Her name is Maya Ariel, and it's about Ella. She's a pop star and she's married to a music producer. And, but he, he cheats. So she finally wants a divorce. She's finally over it. And her agent is like, okay, this is already a lot of news. Stay out of the tabloids. No headliners, none of that. No rumors, yada yada. But at an award show, she has a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. And so this MLB, most eligible player, comes on in and helps her, and that sends the tabloids into a frenzy. And so now she's in the tabloids. So they try to use that situation and kind of turn it around. I think this is going to be another fake dating trope, but it seems cute. And yeah. All right. On the 22nd of April is Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about this because Emily Henry is huge in the book community. And this one I just literally copied and pasted the little section that it gives you. And it says, 2 writers compete for a chance to tell the larger-than-life story of a woman with more than a couple plot twists up her sleeve. So there's that. Pretty much this woman that is very exclusive. She doesn't do any interviews, but her family is very famous and there's a lot going on in that family. Invites these 2 writers to come stay with her for a month. And, she's going to tell them bits and pieces separately. So, like, she's going to tell one person about some things of her life and the other person about other things. But they can't communicate together about what she's been telling them. So they can't know the other part of the story. And so she's going to see whose writing she likes better. And then she's going to pick that person to write her biography or autobiography, whatever. And so pretty much they're staying together for a month. And, they want to tell each other about what's going on the other side, but they can't. So that's tension. And then them just being in close proximity. So it sounds cute. We'll see. Ooh, this one I'm excited about. April 25th. Abby Jimenez, Say You'll Remember Me. Now, I've only read one book by Abby Jimenez, but I do have like 2 of her other books. I just haven't gotten around to reading them yet. But I loved Part of Your World, 5-star for me. And now I'm like, okay, I think I will just go out and blind buy any Abby Jimenez book that she comes out with. So this one is about Xavier and Samantha. They go on this date and they have the best date ever. But Samantha has some things going on at home unexpectedly, and she's like, I can't do a relationship right now. It just wouldn't work. So she's like, forget about me and just make this night a memory that was just amazing. But obviously he can't do that. So I don't know if this is after some time that, they reconnect, or if she tells him that and he's like, no, and he tries. But it seems like it's going to be kind of like a second chance. I don't know if I would put that under there. I'm not good with tropes and things like that, but it sounds really cute, and the cover is really adorable. Okay, so now we're moving into May. So on May 13th, the book No One Was Supposed to Die at This Wedding is going to come out, and I'm super excited. If you look back on a previous video somewhere I talked about the book every time I go on vacation, someone dies. And I really enjoyed that book. It was such a cute, like, whodunit, Knives Out vibes, if that makes sense, where there was some joking and comedy and like, haha, in there. But also, it had a whole murder mystery going on, you know? And also, too, it was out of the country. So, hello, love that. Or out of my country, out of the US. And I love a good trip book when people go on trips and books. I just love it. So, I really did enjoy that book. It was a 5-star read for me. And this is the second book in that series, but it's At the Wedding. So, in the first book, it was about Eleanor. She's like the main character of all these books, I think. And she is an author of a mystery series, a vacation mystery series. And her first book is going to get turned into a movie, When in Rome. And she has a best friend that's an actress, that's going to be the main character in the book. And she's getting married in real life to her co-star, the actress. Emma is getting married to Fred, her co-star. Wedding, someone gives Emma a note saying someone is going to die at this wedding. And Emma tells Eleanor, and so now Eleanor is on the case to figure out who sent this note, who's gonna die, like what's going on, and she's gonna try to stop this before it's too late. So, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm super excited for this to come out. I wish this came out earlier on in the year. I'm really anticipating this one, so we'll see how it goes. Next, on May 20th, is Catherine Center's The Love Haters. Now, honestly, I don't know much about this book. I just know it's about a girl that doesn't know how to swim, but is doing some type of work with this man that's a Coast Guard rescue swimmer in the Key West, but she pretends like she can swim. So, that's kind of all I know about that book. But I know Catherine Center is a lot of people's favorite author. I've heard she has a really good writing style. I have not read any of her books. Happiness for Beginners is on my list. It's been on my list for a while, but I've never read the book. I have watched the movie, and I liked the movie. I thought it was cute. Some people don't like the movie, but it could be too because they read the book. I don't know, but yeah. That's all I know. And it's something I'd be interested in reading because I definitely want to, like I said, read Catherine Center. Now we're moving into June 3rd. Okay. If you guys know what the Meant to Be series is, it is just so cute. So pretty much it's retellings of Disney princesses. The first book was a retelling for Cinderella. The second was The Beauty and the Beast. The third one was Ariel. And the fourth one was Rapunzel. This one is called Worth Fighting For. So, if you know Disney princesses, who do you think it is? It's Mulan. So this is super cute. It's about Fa Mulan. She's gonna take over her father's company while he fell ill, but she's doing this through email with Shang's company, and I'm gonna guess Shang is the love interest. So she's emailing back and forth with him as her dad because, you know, in the world of business and stuff, a lot of men want to work with other men. So she's like, okay, I'll just pretend to be my dad over the email. That's fine. But Shang's company wants to do this retreat, a week-long retreat. And she's like, okay, meeting one-on-one, one time, fine, but a whole week, I don't know if I can do this. So, you know, it's pretty much just, can she keep up this ruse or is it going to be hard? And then obviously like with the love interest. So it just sounds cute and interesting. And Mulan is one of my favorites. So I'm excited to read it. Move on to June 3rd, Julie Clark's The Ghostwriter. Julie Clark also wrote The Last Flight and The Lies I Tell. Those are two books that I've read by her. I think that there's a few more books that she's written. I just haven't read. Excuse me, guys. I am a little bit stuffed up, so sorry. But yeah, so this book is about Vincent Taylor. He was the only survivor of his beep, back up. So Vincent Taylor was the only survivor out of 3 siblings who were found dead in their home. So 2 of them were found dead, and he was the 3rd who was not found dead. People think that he did it, right? Or that he had something to do with the siblings dying. So he, goes off years later and writes horror stories. And so that kind of adds on to people thinking that he did it. And then we have Olivia, which is a ghostwriter, but she is the daughter of Vincent. I don't know if he knows that from what the synopsis was saying. It doesn't sound like he knows that that's her daughter, but I don't know. But anyways, Olivia is a ghostwriter, and like I said, the daughter of Vincent, the only child, and he wants her to ghostwrite his last book before, he's done writing. But this book is not going to be like his other ones. It's going to be about what happened the night of 1975, the night that his siblings were found dead. So that sounds intriguing. That sounds interesting. I'm here for it. Next, on June 10th, we have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. So I think this is the same author that wrote the Age of Adeline series, if I'm not mistaken. I never read that series, but this one sounded interesting. So it says, and I just copied and pasted this from the synopsis that we got. So it says, Santo Domingo della, I'm not going to even say that because I don't know how to, in 1532, London 1837, Boston 2019. 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangle like roots. One grows high, one grows deep, and one grows wild. And all of them grow teeth. So from that, it just sounds interesting. I like when they do kind of different time zones, different time periods. That's what I'm looking for. Different time periods and different areas, and how it all connects. So I will definitely want to pick that up. Then we have on June 24th, Lisa Jules, Don't Let Him In. All I wrote on this one is 3 women connected by 1 man. So it's 3 different women's stories, but they seem to be all connected by this 1 man. My initial guess is going to be that this man is pretending to be other people, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Lisa Jewell is definitely kind of one of those authors where I auto-buy most of her books, at least, because the last one she just came out with, it was some type of superhero book, I think, for Marvel. I didn't pick that one up, but I loved Watching You, and that one doesn't get a lot of talking about, but I loved Watching You. That was a 5-star for me. And then I read Then She Was Gone. That was really good. And then None of This Was True was good. It wasn't my favorite. It was my least favorite from what I read. None of This Is True, but it was still good. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick it up. I don't know much about it, but yeah. And then on the 25th, Ashley Poston, and Ashley Poston for me is another auto buy, specifically because she decided to write, let me see, it's right here, you guys, and I just have to get it out. Specifically because she wrote this book right here. I don't care what she writes afterwards. I will pick up everything from her if I can get the same feeling I got when I read this book. Now, there are a lot of people that like The 7-Year Slip better, and The 7-Year Slip was really good. Don't get me wrong. But this book, 5-star, one of my favorite books that I've read. So I will pick up anything by her just to see if I get this feeling again. Okay? I have not read the novel Love Story. There were a lot of people who said that they were disappointed in it. I still want to pick it up and read it, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But anyways, so this one by her comes out June 25th, and it's Sounds Like Love. And it's about a songwriter from LA. She's kind of having writer's block, so she goes back to her hometown to kind of get that feel and that good vibes. But when she gets there, things just aren't the same, and so she's kind of struggling a little bit more with that. And she also keeps hearing this melody in her head, and with that melody comes along a voice. And this man comes into town, and he has that voice, like that's the voice she's hearing in her head. So my guess is that too, he also has a voice in his head, and I'm guessing the melody is her voice. I'm not too sure. I wasn't, too sure on that when I was reading the synopsis, but anyways, they're gonna work together to write the song, to finish the song, and see if they can break that connection. Or are they gonna build even more of a connection? Who knows? But Ashley Poston is really popular for her magical realism and her unique writing and plots. So I'm excited to see. It sounds cute. I don't know how it's gonna work, but it sounds really cute. So moving on, we're in July now. So on July 3rd, we have Riley Sager's With a Vengeance. Now, I have Lock Every Door on my shelf. Well, not on this shelf, on a different shelf. And I have not read it yet. I wanted to read it in the fall, but I was in such a book slump in the fall time that I did not get around to reading it. But I still want to read it. I still will read it sometime soon, maybe before this book comes out. But this one sounded intriguing. So this book is about Anna, and her family was destroyed by 6 people back in 1942. So 12 years later, she decides to trick these people into getting on a train so that she can kind of lock them in, confront them, make them say they did what they did, and then bring them into the authorities. But somebody ends up dead. And she's like, wait, that wasn't part of the plan. And so pretty much she knows that whoever's killing these people is not going to stop until either everyone's dead or everyone's dead and then she gets blamed for it, or everyone's dead including her. I don't know where they're going with that, but she's going to have to take it into her own hands to stop whoever the murderer is. So that sounded interesting to me. It reminds me of the one movie, Murder on Orient Express. It reminds me kind of that. So, yeah. Moving on to July 15th, Pugs and Kisses. This just sounds like a cute little romance book about 2 people that used to be friends back in the day that went off and lived their lives. They both have something to do with the veterinarian business. And then they come back to their town and they have to save this little animal shelter that they used to work at. And can they save their friendship that used to be? And will it be up to the next level? Will they become something else? It just seems like a cute little romance book that I decided to add on here. So I would definitely want to pick that up sometime. Moving on to July 29th. It's You Belong Here by Megan Miranda. And all I found on this was this little sentence here. A decade-old secret that drove a mother from her hometown now threatens her college-bound daughter. So that's it. That's all. Megan Miranda, for me, there was one book, All the Missing Girls. That was the first book I ever read by her. I got it from one of my managers at an old job I used to work at. And I read it and I loved it, right? This was maybe like 5-6 years ago. And then I read I didn't read that. I read that one after that one. The Last House Guest. I read that one and I just did not care for it. Honestly, I really didn't. It was very predictable and very, like, I've read this before a lot. And I know that's a lot of people's favorites, so to each its own, not everybody has the same vibe. I understand that. So then I read The Only Survivors, and that one was okay. But the ending just sounded too similar to one of the books that she's written before. So I was kind of disappointed with that. But also too, She does have those like comfort thrillers, if that makes sense. Anyways, moving on to August. We're in August. So this book is Forget Me Not by Stacy Willingham. She also wrote a few other books. I read 2 books by her, A Flicker in the Dark and All the Dangerous Places. I read those 2 books and those were good. Don't ask me what they were about because I really don't remember. But this one is about Claire. So her older sister disappears on her 18th birthday. And then days later, there's blood found in her car and a man is arrested for, you know, her disappearance or death. So she moves out of the city, Claire moves out of the city, and she becomes an investigative journalist. And, you know, she's living her life in the city, but then she gets a phone call from her dad that makes her have to come home. So she gets home or whatever, and then she gets bored. So she wants something to do. So she picks up a summer job at, let's see, the Galloway farm. And I'm thinking her sister used to work there or be there because she's like, oh, this is nice. You know, kind of reminds me of my sister. Then she finds this diary from a previous, I think it was a previous owner. Previous vineyard owner that used to be there. And it starts out really cute about a young rebellious type love, but then it turns into something darker, and it may also have something to do with her sister's disappearance. So she's going to be investigating that pretty much, and it sounds intriguing. Like I said, the 2 books I read by Stacy Willingham I did enjoy, I did like, so I definitely do want to pick this up. And the last book I have on my list is in September. September 16th is the 5th book in the Dream Harbor series that's the same author as the book I just mentioned, the strawberry one. Anyways, this book is finally about Annie and Mac. And if you've read the other, at least 2 books, because like I said, I haven't read the 3rd book, and the 4th book is not out yet. But in the first 2 books, Annie was a pretty big side character for both of the books. And she has this banter back and forth with this guy named Mac. And, you know, everybody pretty much already sees it as them just loving each other, but they don't see that as that, obviously. So it's kind of like an enemies to lovers type thing. I think somebody's getting married in this book. I think the first couple is getting married in this book. But anyways, it just seems cute. Yeah, I think the first couple is getting married in this book. And for me, these books are everything. They're just cute little books, and they do have spice in them, so be aware of that. If you need to skip, usually it's all in one section, so you can just kind of skip it and not miss anything. But yeah, they're just cute little fun books to read. I think they're adorable. That is it. That is all the books that I have on my list here. There are so many more books coming out in 2025. I just could not bring myself to sit there and, you know, go through all of them. But there are a lot more. If you guys have any 2025 books that I didn't mention, please mention them down below. Or if I did mention them and you're excited about them, let me know. There are so many books, like I said, coming out in 2025. Oh my goodness, I don't know. That's not good for my bank account. It's really not. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!